budgeting and planning. I'll be honest, my wife and I really don't like the word budget. We do like to plan. More so, we like to dream. So you've tuned into this session thinking he's going to talk about budgets and plans. But I've already done budgets. I know what it means. I've used the envelope system. I've written things down. I've taken my W-2 out and I've painstakingly spent every dollar. I get it. I don't want to bore you with budgets and plans. I believe that you're probably a pretty good planner and you probably have a good grip on your budget. In fact, real estate is one of the areas in your life where you can build wealth. And on budget and planning, I want you to know that equity in your home is an asset that you can use. This is why I really want people to become homeowners. One of the reasons is renting has a fixed expense every month. You know what it is, that's great. Homeownership, though, is not just a fixed budget, but it's also an opportunity. Can you house some folks for some additional rental income? Can you Airbnb it? There are many ways to think through budgeting and planning. I want to talk more about planning. And when I say planning, I want you to plan ahead to become a homeowner. Here's why. Budgets will change. Your plans will change. But when you own a home, you are in a stable environment that you can control. The only thing you get when renting is a lease and a payment on the first. With home ownership, you have more options. So how do you budget and plan for owning a home? Here's what I mean. If you are going to buy your first home, I want you to calculate more items than you expect. For instance, many people don't realize this, but I always budget 2 to 3% of the value of the home every year. That's an expense that I don't know is coming. And even if it doesn't happen, I need to save that money for when the roof needs to be replaced or when the large items that I really don't want to break. So if you buy a $200,000 home, do I really mean it's going to cost you $4,000 a year to operate? Maybe. I want you to be prepared. So when you're budgeting for being a homeowner, not only do you have to prepare to save your down payment, but I want you to realize that one of the big regrets that millennials have when they purchase the home, their first time or their first home, is they've underestimated the value of what we call carrying that home. The yard work, the additional things you must buy at Home Depot and Lowe's to make your house look like our HGTV homes. Here's the point. You're going to spend more money as a homeowner, and that's okay. Just realize you may have to cut back in some of the other areas that you had before. Perhaps you'll be eating in more, which I think is a great plan. Perhaps you'll be entertaining more. That may cost you some money, it may not. But here's the thing. In budgeting and planning for a home, overestimate the cost that it's going to be. That way there's no surprises. So take out a pen and paper and write down a few of these things. On your budget and plan, overestimate for insurance, for taxes, for repairs, for wish list, for expenses that you do want, expenses that you don't want. Think about all the money that you can spend on your home and double it. Now, I don't want to scare you, but budgeting and planning before you buy the home is important, but after you purchase the home, so that you do not regret the home purchase, go in with your eyes wide open and realize that home ownership does come with a price. It has a big opportunity value for you, but that expense as you go should be building your wealth, and it should be preparing you for that next transaction. Another thing about budgets and planning is ratios. What do I mean by that? Well, you might hear debt ratios, debt to income. If you make $100,000 a year, and I'll just round it up to make it easy, 28% of that income can go to a mortgage payment. You also may have heard 38 to 40% in total debt to income. So know your ratios when you're planning, and realize that that gap between the mortgage payment debt, 28%, and all your debt combined, 40%, that's a little tight there if you've got car loans and student loans. So I want you to be thinking through your ratios as you budget and plan to purchase your first home. My conversation with you here is not budgeting and planning to ultimately acquire the home. It's budgeting and planning in preparation for your first year, your second year, for the extra tile, the carpet, maybe the new pet that you didn't know you were going to have when you moved into this neighborhood. There are many things that add to your budget when you're a homeowner. Just know that going in. And don't regret buying that home. Think about the value that it's going to give back to you in security, in future value, and, okay, emotional enjoyment while you live there.